oppose against them. So when I fight this guy, it's all he was a nobody. When I fight this guy, all he was washed. When I fight this guy, it's an excuse, you know. So who you want me to fight? I beat this guy, it's an excuse. I beat this guy, you know, he's too young.
Terence Crawford shocked the boxing world when he revealed his retirement in an emotional goodbye that no one saw coming. His farewell video hit fans hard and left many feeling crushed. The undefeated star didn't slip away quietly. Instead, he posted a powerful 6-minute video on YouTube, where his voice cracked more than once as he explained why he's stepping away from boxing at 38 years old. The announcement came just after what many consider the greatest victory of the modern era. Fighting back tears, Crawford told supporters he had accomplished everything he ever wanted in the sport. He stressed that walking away on his own terms meant more to him than chasing another huge paycheck or adding one more title to his legacy.
I'm never really going to get my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career.
On Tuesday night, Terence Crawford posted a short but meaningful message on social media that instantly grabbed attention. He wrote, "Walking away is great with nothing left to prove," followed by the words, "Crawford era." The post spread fast across every platform, pulling in millions of views as fans flooded the comments with a mix of sadness and respect. Many people are finding it hard to accept that one of boxing's greatest pound-for-pound fighters is really stepping away while still on top. At the same time, the sudden decision has sparked serious debate throughout the boxing world. Crawford's full statement revealed deeper reasons behind his choice that most fans never expected. But before diving into those emotional details, Jake Paul made unexpected comments that added even more controversy to the retirement story.
Put a dent in his career a bit.
Terence Crawford announced his retirement from boxing today. What do you make of that, Jake Paul?
I think it's cap. I don't think he's actually retiring, but it's a smart move by him.
Sources close to the situation say Jake Paul brushed off Crawford's retirement, calling it nothing more than a bargaining move during a workout session at the Miami Open. Paul reportedly told reporters, "He's not really retired, bro. We've seen this happen a million times in boxing. He says he's done, but now everyone's talking about him. That's a smart move by Terence." The comments raised eyebrows, especially since only weeks earlier there were reports that Crawford's camp had been contacted about a possible fight with Jake Paul, a matchup that could have brought in tens of millions of dollars. Many fans believe Paul is actually frustrated that Crawford stepped away before talks could go further. Some see his dismissive tone as disappointment over missing out on what could have been one of the biggest crossover fights boxing has ever seen.
Oh, I'm out of retirement and you're going to face Terence Bud Crawford?
I'll fight Crawford 100% next year. He already was down this year, but we're going to make it happen next year.
Final message for all the Jake Paul fans out there worldwide.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support always.
The boxing community has been divided ever since Terence Crawford's dominant win over Canelo Alvarez in September, with many fans expecting a rematch that could have delivered the biggest payday of both fighters' careers. But Crawford was focused on something else. In fact, he had been quietly hinting at retirement for months, though most people brushed it off since fighters often say those things and keep going. In his emotional retirement video on YouTube, Crawford opened up about the mental and physical pressure of staying unbeaten for 17 years and explained just how much that long journey had taken out of him.
Walking away like this is rare. Terence Crawford just retired 42-0, and honestly, that's how you do it. No chasing checks, no hanging around too long, no letting the game humble you on the way out. He leaves as the only boxer in the 4-belt era to become undisputed in 3 weight classes, something we may not see for a very long time. And he put the final stamp on.
Every fighter understands that this day will eventually arrive, but no one ever knows exactly when. Crawford explained that he spent his whole life chasing something deeper than belts, money, or headlines. It was about the feeling of being doubted and continuing to show up, proving everyone wrong. He followed that with even more emotional words, saying the sport gave him everything. He said he fought for his family, for his city, and for the kid he once was, the one who had nothing except a dream and a pair of gloves. He made it clear he did it his own way. Those words carry even more weight knowing Crawford is stepping away at the very top of his career, something only a handful of fighters have ever done. Many experts believe his choice was influenced by events just 2 weeks before the announcement, when the WBC stripped him of his super middleweight title after claims he refused to pay a $300,000 sanctioning fee.
Just a few months ago. What I respect most is that Crawford knew to stop, and a lot of greats don't. They convince themselves that there's one more fight left, and usually that's when the story changes. Crawford even said it himself, "I'm done fighting because I want a different kind of battle, the one where you walk away on your own terms." That line says everything.
Sources say the controversy left Terence Crawford frustrated with the political and business side of boxing, and it may have been the final push that led him to walk away while his health and legacy were still protected. The most emotional moment of his retirement message came when he explained what leaving on his own terms truly means to him. Fighting back tears, Crawford said he isn't stepping away because he no longer has the will to compete, but because he has won a different kind of fight, the one where a fighter chooses when to exit. He closed by saying this isn't a goodbye, but simply the end of one chapter and the beginning of another.
I wouldn't be mad if I never see Terence fight again. The way he performed, getting ready to be 38, I think, in a few days. Man, what better way to go out? What better way to tell the game goodbye? What better?
Those who have followed Terence Crawford's career closely say this retirement is about much more than simply leaving boxing. It's about protecting his mental and physical health while preserving a flawless legacy. Crawford steps away with a perfect 42-0 record, including 31 victories by knockout. He was never knocked down once during his entire professional run. Even more impressive, not a single judge ever scored a round in favor of one of his opponents. A staggering stat that highlights just how dominant he was inside the ring. Fans have poured onto social media, showing a mix of support and disbelief as emotions continue to run high across the boxing world.
I was arguing with Max on the way to the venue about Boots Ennis. Nah, we don't go fight Canelo and then go back and fight Boots Ennis. I saw a report today, somebody was talking about him going up to light heavyweight. Nah, we don't go up to light heavyweight. We just went up 3 weight classes since the Spence fight in 2 weight classes.
One fan posted, "Undefeated, undisputed, and gone before anyone could lay a hand on him. That's how legends leave." Another shared their support by saying, "Enjoy your well-earned rest, champ. You've earned it more than anyone in this sport." Still, not everyone is fully convinced this retirement is permanent. Some fans and analysts believe Crawford could be using this moment to gain leverage for even bigger fights. One doubtful fan commented, "That Canelo paycheck must have just cleared. He'll be back when they offer him $100 million for the rematch." Another questioned his motives, writing, "He doesn't want that rematch. He's afraid Canelo comes back healthy next time." The doubt isn't shocking, as boxing has a long history of fighters stepping away only to return when the right opportunity or massive payday appears. Many believe Crawford could do the same if the offer is too big to ignore.
If you watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about. Last week I said that, there was going to be some big news come down the pipe. When you hear it, you guys will know. Terence Bud Crawford has officially announced his retirement via his social media platforms. So, and it's a great thing. He left on top.
The timing of Terence Crawford's retirement has raised serious questions throughout the boxing world, especially with so many massive fights still on the table that could have shattered pay-per-view records. Just last week, Canelo Alvarez's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, said they were aiming for a rematch in September 2026, a fight that could have become one of the biggest rematches boxing has ever seen. There was also talk of Crawford moving up to middleweight for even more legacy-shaping matchups, along with rumors that he could headline a huge Riyadh season event in early 2026.
Close to him, pretty much knew that Canelo was going to be the last fight. He was pretty much done. There's nothing else more to accomplish. You proved all of your haters wrong. Everyone who hated on you all the way to 42-0. And you proved everybody, who believed in you, you proved them right.
Boxing promoter Turki Alshik, who played a key role in making the Canelo fight happen by offering both fighters massive purses, is reportedly unhappy that Crawford retired before taking part in the rematch and other major bouts. Sources say Turkey invested heavily in turning Crawford into a mainstream star through the Riyadh season events in 2024 and 2025, and walking away just as he reached household name status feels poorly timed. Crawford's coach, Bernie Davis, told Mill City Boxing in a recent interview that any comeback from Crawford would only happen for exactly $100 million. Not $75 million, not $90 million. He stressed that if the offer isn't that number, there's simply no point.
Terence Crawford, walking away as a great with nothing else left to prove. He's actually attached a YouTube video. In this video, he is receiving the key to the city. He's on the stage. He's thanking everybody that brought him to where he was in boxing. Bo McIntyre, Shakur Stevenson, everyone around him in his team. I'm #1 pound for pound. I'm 3 times undisputed. I'm 5-division champion.
Many boxing insiders believe Crawford's retirement could be a savvy negotiation move, designed to increase his value and push promoters to meet his price if they want him back in the ring. Still, those close to Crawford insist this time is different. He's stepping away with a perfect record, his health, and his legacy fully intact, an achievement very few fighters in history have managed. His retirement also brings old frustrations back into focus, highlighting big fights that never happened and rivalries left unresolved. The clearest example is Errol Spence Jr., whom Crawford decisively defeated in July 2023, stopping him by TKO in the 9th round when the referee called an end to the fight.
I hear you. And the final question, Terence Crawford just announced his retirement. What are your thoughts on this? Is this for real? What do you think? The GOAT is retired.
Listen, man, I don't think Terence is playing. Listen, he's a serious man. He's given the game so much. Congratulations to you, Terence Crawford, bro. Whatever you want to do.
Errol Spence Jr. had a contractual right to a rematch after his decisive loss, but it never happened, despite months of negotiations and back and forth on social media. While Spence hasn't publicly reacted to Crawford's retirement, sources suggest he may feel relieved that the pressure of a rematch is finally off. Spence hasn't fought since that tough defeat and has been recovering from eye injuries that required surgery, which many believe affected his performance in their first encounter. There's also unfinished business with fighters like David Benavidez, who analysts think could have posed a real challenge to Crawford if they ever faced off. Critics have pointed out that Crawford is retiring just as younger, hungrier fighters are emerging as serious threats. One analyst wrote on social media that Crawford is making a calculated move, seeing Benavidez, Morrell, and the next generation coming, and choosing to leave before they could expose him. Not a legendary exit, but a smart, strategic one.
I think you deserve it. You blessed us with many great fights, bro. At the end of the day, your accolades will never be replicated, brother. And you finally got your just due. So respect to you, man, and enjoy life outside of the ring.
But if you had to make a bet, does he come back?
I don't think so.
No.
Another critic argued that retiring after defeating a 35-year-old Canelo, allegedly with one arm, doesn't make Crawford the greatest of all time, claiming that real legends stay and fight everyone. They accused Crawford of cherry-picking his way to a 42-0 record. Crawford supporters, however, defended his legacy, pointing out that he unified divisions, moved up multiple weight classes, and beat every opponent he faced during his 17-year professional career. One of the most intriguing aspects of Crawford's retirement is what it means for the future of the super middleweight division. With him officially stepping away, all 4 major titles at 168 pounds are now vacant, leaving the division wide open for a new champion to emerge. Many fans see this as a positive shift, since Canelo Alvarez had held all 4 belts for years, carefully picking opponents and blocking legitimate contenders like David Benavidez and David Morrell. Crawford's ability to skip the line and move up 2 weight classes to face Canelo was controversial at the time, and some analysts argue it highlighted how fractured the division had become under Canelo's reign. With the super middleweight titles now vacant, younger fighters finally have the opportunity to compete for them, giving fans the chance to see much more competitive matchups in the division. The boxing world is also focused on what's next for Canelo Alvarez, who suffered the toughest loss of his career to Crawford in September. Many believe Canelo was limited in that fight due to a left elbow injury that required surgery just a month later, which may explain why 2 of the judges' scorecards were so close at 115-113. Sources say Canelo is eager for a rematch to prove he can beat Crawford with both arms healthy, but that opportunity may be gone forever unless Crawford chooses to come back. In his emotional retirement video, Crawford expressed heartfelt gratitude to everyone who played a part in his journey, including his critics.
More questions, but you voiced you don't know how many fights that you actually got left. How does Terence Crawford know when it's time to hang it up?
When I want to. I'm going to retire from boxing before I let boxing retire me. I always say,
I want to thank my haters, my critics, and every opponent who pushed me further than I thought I could go. You made me better, you made me sharper, you made me legendary. That kind of reflection is rare in boxing, where many fighters retire bitter or regret the fights they never had or the money they never earned. Crawford also thanked his team, his promoters, his hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, and most importantly, his family for all the sacrifices made during his 17-year professional career. Sources close to Crawford say his family played a major role in his decision to retire. He wants to be more present as his children grow up. One source reportedly said, "Bud has given everything to this sport since he was 7, missing birthdays, holidays, and precious time with his kids. Now he wants to make up for that lost time while he's still young enough to be an active father."
Oh, Mac, you've been training Crawford for years. Is he retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He just got to take a break.
Is Terence Crawford retired or is he going to keep fighting?
Oh, he's going to keep fighting.
He's going to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You're the man. Be man. Hey, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to retire on my own terms, and I'm going to feel good because everything that I did it my way.
This reasoning has resonated with many fans, who admire seeing a fighter put family ahead of fame and fortune, especially in a sport where legends often stay too long and risk suffering crushing losses late in their careers. The broader boxing community has responded with respect, even among those who question whether this retirement is truly permanent. Well-known analyst Max Kellerman reportedly said, "Some fighters define their era, and Terence Crawford is one of them. Anyone who followed his career will argue no one could have beaten him, and they have a strong case." This perspective highlights what made Crawford so exceptional: his technical skill, ability to switch stances seamlessly, power from both hands, and a boxing IQ that always seemed several steps ahead of every opponent. Other analysts, like Eddie Prangev, have been more measured, pointing out that Crawford's win over Israel Madrimov in 2024 was closer than the scorecards might indicate.
I remember, like it was yesterday, I went to quit boxing, and I'm like, man, boxing. And to the point where I didn't enjoy it no more, I didn't love it no more, and Bomac, he always, hey, don't worry about it, man, just keep going. It's gonna all pay off one day.
Many observers felt Madrimov actually won that fight, raising questions about whether Crawford was already showing signs of decline before his victory over Canelo gave his career one final boost. Regardless of the debate, Crawford's record speaks for itself. He is a 5-division world champion, 3-time undisputed champion, 4-time lineal champion, and retires with a perfect 42-0 record. Only legends like Manny Pacquiao and Oscar de la Hoya have won titles in more weight classes, placing Crawford in truly elite company in boxing history. As the boxing world absorbs this shocking news, the biggest question remains: is this retirement permanent, or will Crawford return if the offer is right? History shows boxing retirements should be approached with caution, as countless legends have returned for one more fight when the money or opportunity was too good to pass up. Floyd Mayweather retired multiple times before coming back, and even fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard and George Foreman staged unexpected comebacks years after leaving the sport. But there is something different about Crawford's announcement. The maturity in his voice, the calm in his decision, and his focus on leaving on his own terms all suggest this might truly be the real deal.
Bernard, Dr. Conroy, Steven, Paulina, Shakur, Mac. I want to thank Red, Saul, Chad, Denise. I want to thank Julie. I want to thank Jessica, Ish. Most importantly, my
Crawford's coach, Bernie Davis, setting a $100 million price tag could be the ultimate test of whether this retirement is truly permanent or just a negotiation tactic. If promoters actually meet that number for a rematch with Canelo or a crossover fight with Jake Paul, we'll see whether Crawford's convictions are stronger than his bank account.
I know the haters are mad. I know Floyd said somewhere like, God damn, he had to lose. I needed him to lose. Go try to be undisputed one more time. Yeah. The haters mad. Oh, he's ducking the Canelo rematch.
For now, the boxing world has to accept that one of this generation's greatest fighters is stepping away at just 38 years old, with a perfect record and his legacy intact. Whether that legacy could have been even bigger if he had faced David Benavidez, given Canelo a rematch, or taken on younger challengers is a debate fans will continue for years. Hopefully, Crawford can enjoy retirement with his family and watch his children grow up without the constant grind of training camps, weight cuts, and the physical demands of being an elite boxer. For the latest news, highlights, events, and moments in boxing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss quality content like this.